Evening, everybody. How we doing? How we doing? Hope you all had a good weekend. I know I for sure did. Pretty chill weekend, not much to do, but yeah, this is gonna be the trade recap for Friday. Once again, I recorded myself executing, so I'll just go over my context to kind of give you an idea of what I was looking at. But you'll see me like try to explain a little bit here and there as I execute my trades. But basically, I took three trades. The first one was a loss, and the next two were break even. So those two trades that were break even, the first one I'm completely fine with it being break even. I feel like it was a pretty valid. Uh, I had pretty valid reasoning for me to go break even, because we broke a 5 minute low, and we were heading towards our target. So yeah. Anyways, that was the first one, and then for what else was there? Okay, so for my context, I knew previous day's range stat was bearish. True day open was above us, but it got traded through in London, so not as relevant as we would like it to be. Then what else was there? Okay, so the previous night it looked like we were holding the daily FEG, and then before open it looked like we might just continue to sell off. So far, the daily and 4 hour FEGs didn't look like they were holding. We were disrespecting support zones that I had marked out, so like FEGs, low volume, stuff like that. And then we just had strong momentum off open that created a internal bearish low volume node, and at that point it was just a clear direction. That I want to try to catch the bottom on a strong bearish trend. You could see we did end up reverting on that day, because this is right here. We're looking at Friday's price action. This is Sunday open, but we did end up reverting after sweeping that low, which was my target. Because I said I wanted to target the weekly low from the week of October 20th. So it was, if you go to weekly chart, I'll just look at NQ really quick. And we'll remove this for a little bit. This weekly low is the week of October 20th. Yeah, October 20th. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. It was the low of that candle. So weekly low. So technically, like on the week of the 27th, this would have been the previous week's low. So to me, it was still a relevant draw on liquidity, high time frame, so it held quite a bit of relevance in my eyes. But yeah, that was pretty much it, and yeah, that's about all I can say about that. And then yeah, so basically just traded off of fib levels aligning with a low volume node and New York VWAP. Mainly I was using fib levels of the New York range, and yeah, I'll let you guys just, I guess, enjoy the recap. But that's pretty much it. From takeaways, I can probably just say that the first short was a bit of an early entry. I feel like that should have been more the type of trade to kind of get a starter position going and add in as it starts to look good, and then adjust my stop loss based on new structure. Because I did know that my stop loss was a bit tight. Like it was, sorry about that. It wasn't actually fully covering the low volume node that I had marked out. Because it would have been too big of a stop loss, and didn't really like that. But at times, your stop loss should just go where it's supposed to go, regardless of where you want it to go, based on like risk to reward or anything like that. But yeah, too tight, stop loss too tight or too early entry, either or. Wait for a deeper reach to get better entry. The second trade was a bit better. I went break even once we broke that 5 minute low, which was fine. Ended up getting stopped out. Could have taken profits, whatever. I feel like I did. There was a bit of greed subconsciously that made me want to hold the trade longer to see if we actually hit that target. And it was influenced by the fact that I just took a loss, right? If I didn't, I would probably just taken my profits at 2R or something, or would have been more at peace with getting stopped out at break even. And then the third trade, I went break even pretty quick once we broke VWAP on Bookmap. But that was a rush decision. I felt like it's not as valid as like the second trade, right, where we wait for a structure break, instead of just a confluence break, because the VWAP break, it's like it just adds confidence to holding the trade. It's not really because the adjustment to break even at that point, it's not based on 5 minute structure or something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I can say about the trades that day. Pretty solid day. Unfortunate that we had to end it in a loss, but it is what it is. It happens, and a couple of takeaways from that from what I just mentioned, and something I do consider doing from here on out is looking at tick charts. So if you're not familiar, you have time-based charts and tick charts. Tick charts are basically, how do I put this? It's like a new on the time-based chart, a new candle prints after a certain amount of time has passed. Anything can happen in that time span. In a tick chart, a new candle prints after a number of trades have been placed. So like once a certain number of trades are executed, that's the close of the candle. You know what I mean? And then we open a new one. Same, like let's say 500 ticks, so 500 trades. That would be, each candle is 500 trades. So I'm thinking about that because I was looking at it just with this example with this price action, and those gave sniper entries. Like I'm not gonna lie, they gave sniper entries. So I'm gonna try to incorporate them and see how they look. Let me see if this will load for a second. But to give you an example here is, right, here we have like my few entries here and there, right? And this was the high of the candle, right? So here, an entry could have been at, say, okay, we put in the low and then we break structure. So just basing yourself on the break of structure. And it's like, okay, well, you're just looking at break of structure. Yeah, but you know you're at an area. If an interest, multiple conflicts is in alignment, we knew at this point there was failed buying, right? So this break of structure gives you an entry. My entry was 24,994. Let's call it 95, just to round it out because it's 3 ticks above that. I would have been like, geez, almost 30 points. 30 points better of an entry, right? So like, because my entry was about 984, 75. So like my entry was around here actually. So there's what, 37 points, almost 40 points, 38 points of a difference. Pretty significant difference. Like, I could have cut almost a 2R before even getting an entry, right? And it's a very tight stop, 23-point stop. So this kind of blew my mind when I looked at it. I'm like, why does Coach Dakota from Top Step, if anyone's seen him, great guy, he's made millions from trading, why does he use tick charts, right? What's up with tick charts? I looked into it a bit, and it makes sense, right? You're kind of, because the time-based charts, they're limiting you to time. Time doesn't really say much in trading. Looking at it like an auction, it doesn't say much. Obviously, you have like significant time stamps like New York Open, previous days lows and highs, like time-based liquidity, but like in terms of, excuse me, entries, I feel like tick-based charts could provide great entries. So yeah, this would have been an example where it just would have been a banger trade. Say this is the entry that I took, right? So this was the formation of this candle, right? And I just targeted like 24. What was the low? 24,917.50. So 24,917.50. That's a 4R. That's a freaking 4R. Just because mainly due to taking the, what's it called? I forgot. Just mainly because of me taking the tick-based chart entry on, like, kind of adding it on top of what I already looked at for these confluences. But yeah, and then the next one I'm pretty sure was even more of a banger entry than the other one. Like this one over here. So like if I looked at it over here, right? Say you waited for, okay, we're stalling out. Okay, we get a break of structure. That's your entry. Okay. Cool. 20-point stop. Are you kidding me? In this volatile market? Are you freaking kidding me? If you're able to get an entry like this on this volatile market, that's insane. Right? So 24 AA 175, 24 AA 175. That's a 7R. A 7 freaking R just because you'd be using a 500 tick chart. So it is one instance. Gotta acknowledge this. It is one instance, and it's something that we're gonna have to forward test, right? Because we're still gonna be using the same confluences, same strategy, same trade framing, same all of it, and just adding this to get a better entry. We see failed buying, we see a break of structure in the tick chart, entry. And that's all I can say about that. So yeah, we'll see how it plays out, right? Because putting your stop loss based on the tick chart structure, I know the first one, if I did it, I think it did give an entry like that, and it would have been stopped out pretty quick based on tick based structure. If I did it based on the confluence itself, then not so great. But either way, I feel like it's pretty solid. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this plays out, and we'll just kind of have to play by ear, make adjustments as we go along, right? It's just adding one small thing, and yeah. Anyways, that pretty much wraps it up for my thoughts, kind of before y'all see the recap itself. But anyways, hopefully I catch y'all tomorrow with a banger trade and enjoy the trade recap. Hey, limit the. Alright, so I just entered a short here. We saw a retest of an internal low volume node created of open. Retest of VWAP, tried to get above it, failed. We're retesting it now. And yeah, I have my stop at the end of this 5-minute gap, so 245. Not the best calculated risk. So 245.50, I think that's my stop. 245.25 actually. But yeah. And then, yeah, that's my entry. My low volume node's still holding. And, yeah. 804.75. 804.75 is my take profit. So, my entry is at 977.75. 977.75. So yeah, not the best entry in my opinion. But we'll see. We'll still hit the 382 of the New York session range. So yeah, that's kind of what we're dealing with now. This one. Okay, I got waked up, but I just re-entered. Stop at the wick here. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Some more fail buying, same idea. So yeah, Same idea, low volume node. We hit the 618, so we just re-entered probably around here. So my stop was here. So entry was 948.75. Entry 948.75. 94, sorry. 94.75. Stop at the wick. 45.25. Target is still this 804.75. Okay, seeing good sell volume here. Oh yeah. I'm just gonna see follow through here. 45.25. 45.25. I'm gonna see if we actually get our target here. Jesus. I'm retesting VWAP here. Kind of like the Jesus. Kind of like where we're getting here off of VWAP. But yeah. Just open Discord really quick to get my news feed. Tana. ¡Eh! Buen quiebre, buen quiebre. Alright, so I got stopped out break even there. I went break even because, so this is a 44. 44.20. Alright, so I got stopped out break even there. We hit the 618. Low volume node, got above the VWAP. Failed. And, excuse me. We, yeah. We broke that low and immediately just reversed, but I went break even once we broke that low because I wanted to see continued displacement off of it, but yeah, it doesn't look like we're getting any, but we'll see if another presents itself. Yo voy a intentarlo ahí un poquito menos de riesgo. Alright, so I just entered another short. Seeing a lot of failed buying here with the retest. Let me just get the screenshot going of this. Put my stop up here. The 48s. So I like the idea. Okay, seeing a lot of aggressive buying here. I'm gonna wait and see if this is actually something we're gonna be able to profit off of, or if it's just like buyers gonna continue to push through. But yeah, so my entry was probably like here. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Here. Target down there. Wow. So 25,050. Yeah. I'm gonna see if we can recover from this, I guess. 808. Yeah. We'll see. Let's see what we do here. Got 8 more minutes till the initial balance sets. Now we're just gonna have to wait and see if we're actually able to sustain this move or not. Pretty indecisive. I feel like there is a seller here, but it looks not too great. We'll see. We'll see. I think I mean, pretty solid risk management. Not gonna lie, so I'm not too worried about that. But it'd be nice if we actually get followed through here. Like I want to see us break view up here. Looks like we're about to reach it. I'll see us flush. Okay, yeah, go and break even. So yeah, I had another trade here. 618 in New York, still same low volume node. Saw a lot of failed buying on Bookmap. And we broke view up, that's why I went break even. So it's gonna stop me out here, I think. Yeah. Got stopped at a break even. It's all good. My plan was telling me go break even there, so yeah. And it's also the fact that, like, you know, if we don't break here, like, I wanted to see strong displacement, and the fact that we're not seeing that makes me think, like, okay, maybe this wasn't quite the move, but I guess I'll see y'all next week, and hopefully we start off on Monday with a banger trade, and we can continue to reach that, you know, we can continue to get closer to that profit target. So yeah. Anyways, that pretty much wraps it up for today, and yeah, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.